Even though you can get great looking shots using the Shark Slider Nano 2 on a flat surface like a table, adding a tripod to the mix gives you loads more creative possibilities. The first thing you're definitely going to want to think about is your choice of tripod and head. First, take the weight of the slider itself, and if you're using the shorter version, this is going to be 2.8 kilograms, and if you're using the longer version like this one here, this weighs 3.1 kilograms. Next, add the weight of your camera, lens, and any ball head that you plan to use to the weight of the slider. This is going to give you your total weight, and the tripod and also the tripod head that you're going to use is going to need to support that total weight. This tripod is a small rig free blazer. The tripod itself has a maximum limit of 15 kilograms, but the head that I've got fitted to it has a maximum load of 8 kilograms. So with this tripod head, we've got an 8 kilogram maximum payload. What we need to do is take off the weight of the slider, 3.1 kilos, and the weight of the ball head that I'm going to be using, which is 300 grams. So that leaves me with 4.6 kilograms to be used on the slider itself, which is going to take up the weight of the camera and any lens that I fit to it. I'm going to be using the Sony a7R IV on the slider itself, and I'm going to be using it with this Sigma 24-70 lens. And this camera and lens combo plus the battery in the camera adds up to about 1.5 kilos, so that's well under that 4.6 that we've got left to use. This tripod actually comes as a kit with this head, and I'll put a link to that kit in the video's description. So now we've got our tripod and tripod head selected, we can get on to setup 1, and that's going to be the beginner setup where we're going to use the slider in a horizontal fashion. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure the legs of the tripod you're using are spread wide enough to give yourself a solid base of support. Make sure the legs are locked in nice and tight, and remember that when we fit the slider and the camera are going to move over the center of gravity of the tripod, so you want to make sure the legs are spread wide enough that when your camera moves to one end of the slider, the whole thing's just not going to topple over and damage things. Basically, make sure everything's 100% safe and secure no matter where the camera moves on the slider. Next, you're going to want to make sure that the tripod is nice and level. It's just going to make things easier to get smooth footage later on. This tripod comes with a spirit bubble on the head, so it's really easy to know if this thing's level or not. And because it's got a bowl head on it, I can just twist this bit underneath and I can rotate the bowl around to get the spirit level. So it's super quick and easy. Then just tighten it up, and now I know that the head is level on the tripod. Next, attach the slider to the tripod. You can do this directly to the tripod, or you can do it via a tripod head like we've got here. Why is a video head useful? We'll get to that when we come to setup 3. I've already attached the tripod head's quick release plate to the bottom of the slider here, and that's going to make it super quick and simple to attach the slider to the tripod. Angle this in, push it down, get it lined up, and then tighten this a few twists, and now the slider is really quickly attached to the tripod. For maximum smoothness, maximum stability, and also to reduce the risk of things toppling over and getting damaged, you can add support rods. In fact, iFootage state that for long version Nano 2660, when the load reaches 7 kilograms, the slider must be used on a table or flat surface. If using a tripod, additional support rods are required to ensure stability. And I really love these iFootage support rods, so much so that I'm going to be doing a dedicated video on them. One of the great things about these support rods is they come with these quick release mechanisms, and that makes it even quicker to set up. You just screw these into one of the many mounting points on the slider, and then you can simply just click in one end of the support rod and then just lock that off. Now we've got one end of the support rod connected. These support rods come with a clamp, again with the quick release mechanism. You can extend the support rod down, clamp it onto the tripod. You can see here that I'm clamping on the end of the support rod onto these spreaders. That's because I don't want to clamp onto these thin tripod tubes, because if I add too much pressure, it's going to dent and start to buckle the tripod tubes. So when you're using these clamps, just be super careful that you don't damage your tripod. Now we can do the same thing for the other side. Now you can fit your ball head, if you're using one, to the iFootage slider connection plate, and just tighten that up to make sure it's nice and secure, and then slide that on to the slider and lock it in place. Attach your camera, and make sure it's all secure. And then you can go and grab your first horizontal shots using a tripod. The benefit of using a tripod over a table, it's much easier to move a tripod around a room, and it's much easier to adjust the height of a tripod depending on your subject than it is to try and adjust the height of a table. Let's go grab some power for this thing, turn it on, let it reset, press both buttons to unlock, and we'll start there, add a second keyframe. Now we can get our shot. If I was setting up a product shot, I would do a lot more work in terms of setting up the lighting and maybe a backdrop. Okay, let's move on to shot setup 2. This is more of an intermediate approach, and this is to use the slider in its vertical position. So for vertical mode, if you want to, you can use one of the mounting points at the bottom of the slider and just screw it straight onto the tripod if you're not using a head. But because I'm lazy and I don't want to remove this head, I'm just going to fit the tripod's quick release plate to the bottom. And now that's done, I can really quickly mount this back onto the tripod. Remember that you want your tripod to be 100% safe and secure. Tighten up. And as before, for extra stability, you can add a support rod. I've still got the quick release plate for the support arms here, so it's going to be super quick to do that. So in this setup, the pan axis built into the slider actually becomes a tilt axis. When you're using the slider like this, iFootage states that the maximum payload is 3.5 kilograms. Attach your power source. Just make sure that when the slider's moving around, this cable is not going to get caught up in anything and cause any damage. And then before you attach the camera, you want to power on the slider and then let it do its reset back to its initial position before you attach the camera. Because we've got less of a payload in vertical mode, I'm not using the ball head in this approach, even though we've probably got enough weight capacity for that. Instead, I'm attaching the slider's own adapter or quick release plate directly to the camera. Now this thing is reset, we can go and slide this thing in till it clicks into place, and then under here tighten off the locking lever and just make sure everything's in place properly before you take your hands off the camera. The last thing you want is your camera to fall on the floor and smash. Now we've got everything in place, we can just go and set our keyframes and then go and get the shot. By the way, if you want to actually see how to use all the keyframes and everything, we've got loads of videos on this slider. I'll put links to them in the description or at the end of this video. Unlock. Now we can move things around. We're using this RS4 Mini as the subject, and obviously I'd be setting things up a bit differently if I wanted to get an actual real shot. And in this case, we're going to be shooting vertical. If you want to shoot horizontal, obviously you're going to need to use a ball head to bring things level. And now we can go and get the shot. Tap start. And we get this nice kind of motion with almost like a parallax effect going on. And obviously you could spend a lot more time setting up the shot than I'm doing here. Okay, on to the next shot setup, and this one can give you really dynamic looking footage. For this shot, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put the tripod quick release plate on the bottom of the slider. And remember earlier when I said that this tripod head is going to come in handy? That's because for this setup, we're going to create a sloped setup. And a video tripod head is going to make this so much easier, because I can simply loosen off the tilt lock and then slope the slider to whatever angle I want, lock off the head tilt lock. Now I've got the slope I want, and I couldn't find a specification from iFootage for maximum capacity payloads when using this sloped setup. As with all of these setups, make sure that your tripod legs are spread far enough apart and your tripod's 100% locked in place. And as before, we're going to add some support rods to make everything more secure, more stable, and reduce the risk of things falling over and getting damaged. And for this setup, I'm clamping the support arms onto this part of the tripod here, not onto the legs or the spreader arms. Going to be using a ball head for this just to give us a bit more flexibility when this thing's moving up and down, so we can have a nice level horizon if we want to. Start off by slotting this thing in, tightening off the locking lever. We can attach the camera, make sure the camera's locked in place, reset to the starting point, and then tap start to get the shot. Let me know which setup you think is the best, and watch this video next to get loads more information about this slider. I'm Jason Roberts, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.